Adnan Abdelfattah from 90 Day Fiancé and Tiger Lily broke up. Their dream wedding is over. Adnan Abdelfattah and Tiger Lily's wedded life on 90 Day Fiancé is currently at a very important point. Their relationship has been strained by long-standing disputes that can't be resolved, disagreements, and other issues. They wanted to live happily ever after, but the hard realities of life and their emotional distance made them decide to break up. In the end, they got a divorce and went their own ways. This breakup is hard for a lot of people, but everyone is wishing them the best and hoping they find happiness and peace in the next chapter of their life. Life isn't always easy, but every experience makes us better. Adnan Abdelfattah and Tiger Lily's trip started with hope and joy. They dreamed of making a life full of love and happiness from the first time they met. Fans loved their whirlwind romance because it was the kind of story where two individuals from different worlds came together to make a future. Their smiles and joy on camera made it look like they had a beautiful marriage. But things were much more convoluted behind the scenes. The magic that had been there at first started to evaporate as time went on. They used to think their differences were cute, but now they were causing problems. Small disputes turned into fights. Both of them were under a lot of stress because of language hurdles, cultural misunderstandings, and the pressure of being watched by the public. They started to drift away emotionally and couldn't close the developing gap. Adnan, who had earlier been full of hope, felt the stress keenly. Tiger Lily also felt lonely even though they were in the same room. They both wanted the marriage to work, but it looked like the problems would never go away. Friends and family tried to help and give advice, but the problems were too personal and complicated for those who weren't involved to fix. After a really hard fight one night, they sat down together to confront the truth. Their fantasy marriage could no longer last. They made the hard choice to break up with heavy hearts. The divorce was finalized quietly, without much fuss, but it was the end of a chapter that had been very important to both of them. The breakup hurt, but it also gave me a sense of relief. They both knew that love isn't always enough to get over big divides. But their story didn't end in anger. Instead, it taught me how to grow and be strong. Adnan and Tiger Lily decided to focus on healing, learning from what happened, and finding peace within themselves. They said goodbye like friends and wished each other happiness in the future. Fans also showed their support, wishing that both of them would find new ways that would bring them joy and happiness. Life had put their love to the test, but it had also made them stronger. Their adventure reminded everyone that not every story ends the way we want it to, but every ending is a chance for a new beginning. But 90 Day Fiancé, Adnan Abdelfattah was disgusted by American food after getting back together with Tiger Lily, who was pregnant at the time. 90 Day Fiancé, when Adnan Abdelfattah first got to America to live with Tiger Lily, he didn't like the food. Their romance is making their co-stars, families, and fans go crazy. He showed her his worst sides, and she worried a lot about their future. He quickly broke the law while driving, which made fans angry because he was putting innocent lives at risk. Tiger Lily said that Adnan was an immature man, and admirers agreed because his frontal lobe wasn't fully matured. He wanted his wife to convert to Islam, as if she didn't have a choice. Her parents expected their daughter not to follow her partner's demands and wondered about how long their relationship would endure. There are more problems between them than only romantic ones that are hard to deal with. Tiger Lily Taylor got in trouble for making fun of Adnan for smoking. She said that the smell of cigarettes made her sick and she couldn't stand it. She had the same problem with her first two pregnancies as she did with her third. But her spouse lied to her when he said he wouldn't smoke again, at least not around her. But Tiger Lily's words didn't work because she lied. In February, someone saw her holding a vape in Adnan's Instagram story. Even though she vaped herself, she tried to make him feel bad. The reality star talked about the incident in public, but she didn't confess she was to blame at first. She acted like she didn't care that he was smoking while she was having an ultrasound. In a new Instagram reel from 90 Day Fiancé, Adnan Abdelfattah said that he doesn't like American food after trying it. The footage shows him getting some pasta and French fries. He said that the unhealthy and tasteless meal made his stomach pain. He called it as gross as it could be. Adnan's first time in America didn't go as planned. He thought Americans don't know what good food is, thus the food wasn't very good. He added that after the first taste, he invariably ended up in the bathroom. He was proud of his Jordanian heritage and said that they are good at making tasty food. Adnan's facial expressions so far have shown that he was unhappy with his travel to the US. But he is glad to see Tiger Lily. After his visa was accepted, they began a new life. Many admirers viewed the video and had different things to say about the meal. Some others praised Jordanian and Syrian food, which was a full support for the TLC star. Someone else suggested that Adnan eat home-cooked food or go to healthy restaurants instead of fast food or buffets. One admirer said that even after living in the nation for 4 years, the food can still be crazy. They said, "Every immigrant says this." So it seems that he is right, but there are alternative ways for him to have a better dining experience. Tiger Lily and Adnan's relationship, on the other hand, was like a roller coaster ride, exciting, unpredictable, and full of heart-stopping moments. Their love affair was anything but normal from the start. It all began when Tiger Lily, a lively and talkative woman from the US, met Adnan, a fascinating and intriguing man from another country. Their first talks were full with excitement and promise. Tiger Lily trusted everything Adnan said when he promised her the world. But soon, the reality of being in a long-distance relationship and having different cultures started to put a strain on their relationship. The first big moment was when Tiger Lily flew around the world to meet Adnan for the first time. The waiting was too much to take. She dreamed of dinners by candlelight and honest talks. But when she got there, Tiger Lily was shocked by how secretive Adnan was and how he answered her questions about his past. She had more and more reservations, but her heart told her to give him a chance. Then there was the dramatic fight that was caught on video and shook their relationship to its core. Tiger Lily found out that Adnan had lied to her about his past relationships and how much money he had. The heated dispute got out of hand quickly, with accusations flying and tears spilling. It was a really sad time for both of them, and they had to wonder if their love was based on trust or a lie. Tiger Lily chose to stay and try to fix things, even though there was a lot of tension. But just when it looked like they were getting somewhere, Adnan's strange disappearance for a few days left Tiger Lily scared and alone. There were a lot of whispers on social media about where he was and what he was going to do. Was he trying to get away? Was this the end? Adnan's return with the stunning news that he was already married was the most shocking turn of events. Tiger Lily felt completely misled and ashamed. The cameras caught every real feeling: rage, despair, and bewilderment. Viewers saw Tiger Lily had a hard time forgiving and figuring out if their future was worth the suffering. Tiger Lily had to make the hard choice to leave Adnan in the season finale, even though she still loved him. She said goodbye with tears in her eyes and told him, "I deserve love and honesty, not secrets." It was both sad and encouraging to remember that sometimes the hardest choice is the boldest one. Not only was their narrative full of drama, but it also showed real human emotions behind the cameras. It became one of the most talked about stories in 90-Day Fiancé history. Tiger Lily and Adnan taught audiences how complicated love, trust, and betrayal can be in a way that will stick with them. It was a sunny and warm afternoon in Istanbul, a city where the East and West meet and where old and new come together. Adnan was a charming and ambitious man from Egypt who had been living in the busy city for a few years. He ran a modest business and dreamed of meeting the ideal person to share his life with. He had met a lot of people online, but nothing had ever felt right until he found Tiger Lily's profile. Tiger Lily was a lively and adventurous woman from the United States who wanted to learn about other cultures and go to new places. One night, while she was looking through social media, she saw Adnan's message in her inbox. He was kind, honest, and very interested in her life and goals. After weeks of texting and video chatting, the two finally agreed to meet in person for the first time. The day came. Tiger Lily arrived at the airport in Istanbul with a mix of joy and nerves in her heart. She didn't know what to expect. Would Adnan be as nice in real life as he was online? Would the chemistry they sensed through a screen work in real life? She came out into the warm afternoon sun with her suitcase in hand and noticed Adnan waiting by the arrivals gate. When Adnan spotted her, his eyes brightened up. His face lit up with a bright, honest smile as he wore a casual white shirt and pants. He welcomed her with his arms and said, "Tiger Lily, welcome to Istanbul." She smiled back, and right away she felt a connection that made her doubts go away. They chose to go on a walk along the Bosphorus to see the city together. The lake sparkled in the midday sun, and the sounds of street merchants and music from far away filled the air. Tiger Lily was interested in Adnan's stories about his childhood, his family, and his hopes for the future as they talked. Adnan was just as interested in Tiger Lily's stories about her life in America, her love of art, and her dreams of seeing the world. Even though they didn't speak the same language and were from different cultures, they ended up laughing together like old friends. They shared their favorite dishes, such Turkish kebabs and fresh baklava, and took a lot of pictures with famous old buildings in the background. They sat on a small patio that looked out over the city as the sun went down, coloring the sky with shades of orange and pink. Adnan held Tiger Lily's hand gently. "I know this is just the beginning," he murmured softly, "but I feel like we were meant to meet." Tiger Lily peered into his eyes, and her heart raced. "I feel the same," she said softly. That night was the beginning of something special, a journey full of hope, problems, and the chance to find true love. Their initial meeting wasn't flawless, but it was real. At that moment, both Adnan and Tiger Lily understood that their lives would never be the same. But Tiger Lily had always been a free spirit, full of life, self-assured, and fiercely independent. She was drawn to Adnan's charisma, passion, and great affection for her when they first met. Their rapid romance, which was shown on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, looked like a fairy tale happening in real life. But Tiger Lily was going through a silent battle that few people could witness, even when the cameras were rolling. Adnan's family was very devout and conservative. His religion was more than just a part of his life. It was who he was. Tiger Lily started to feel the pressure build as soon as they became engaged. At first, it was just small talk. "It would be easier for everyone if you shared our beliefs," Adnan's mother offered with a warm grin at a family dinner. Then it got more direct. "Marriage means more when both partners walk the same spiritual path," Adnan's family informed her when they came to see her. At first, Tiger Lily attempted to ignore it. She cared about Adnan and wanted things to work out. But the pressure to become Muslim was too much for her to handle. She didn't know if it was about faith or power. She thought about whether Adnan's love was conditional. Could he really love her if she kept true to her own beliefs? On a rainy afternoon, Tiger Lily sat alone in the apartment they shared and looked through old pictures of her childhood. The memories of independence, family traditions, and her own spirituality pulled at her heart. She felt like she was stuck between two worlds, the one she was born into and the one she was supposed to accept. When she eventually talked to Adnan, the chat was honest and full of feelings. "I love you," she replied, her voice shaking, "but I'm afraid I'll lose myself if I try to be someone I'm not." Adnan gazed at her, unsure of what to do. "I don't want to lose you either, but my family expects this." "Tiger Lily, it's vital to me." Weeks turned into days. They went to counseling, chatted late into the night, and slowly started to comprehend one another's hopes and anxieties. Adnan understood that love couldn't be forced through conversion. It had to be chosen freely. Tiger Lily was strong because she knew who she was and wouldn't let anyone change that. Their love was tested but not broken. They learned how to recognize both faith and individualism by building a bridge between their differences. Their narrative wasn't perfect, but it was real. It showed that love doesn't have to involve giving up your own needs, but it does honor two people choosing to walk together, hand in hand, even when things are tough. Dear lovely viewers, thanks for coming to my channel. My name is Amelia. I hope your day is going well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you appreciate the video.